In the last few hours, the Court of Appeal has ruled that the government can send asylum seekers to Rwanda. But it seems the number of people due to be on the flight may be down, maybe single figures. 11 was the last number, but I think it'll be dwindling by the hour if the lawyers have their way, of course. Dominique, the lawyers must be having an absolute field day. They must feel that all their Christmases have come at once at the moment. But where do you stand on it all?
I think it begs the question of who is in charge. Is it a democratically elected government who put forward the policy to send asylum seekers to Rwanda to Parliament? It was passed, it was voted through. Or, is our system at the behest of activist lawyers, the UN and the European Court of Human Rights? It's completely inappropriate. And one thing I will say, though, personally for me, it's not necessarily just about smashing the smuggling gangs. They're obviously extremely terrible. They exploit people and they cause deaths. But the primary issue, which, this government was elected on their manifesto, was that we need to reduce the amount of people that are coming here. That's the problem, and that's why the Rwanda plan exists. And, you wouldn't think so, but the Rwanda plan actually enjoys net support amongst the general public. So more people support it than do not support it.
What are you basing that on?
It was a recent Snap poll that was put out. iNews actually put this out 11 days before the official announcement. More details of the plan were put out, and it received net support. I think it was about 48% to 28% of people supported it and didn't support it.
Dana, do you support it?
I don't support it. I think we have to remember that the Commission, the 1951 Convention, the Brits were a big part of writing these rules. These are international rules. An emergency cannot wait for British legislation. If you are fighting, if you are running for your life, you don't have a choice. Canada, for example, I don't know if you're aware of this, the Second World War turned away a ship of 700 Jewish immigrants during the Second World War, basically, putting them to their death. And they had to make, and you know what?
That's comparable, though.
That's if people are actually fleeing for their lives. So the people we're talking about here are people who've come from France, and France is a safe country, and we have over 8,000
So
people.
why is it that the Ukrainians don't have to
so far this year have come over?
I was skeptical of opening the floodgates to Ukrainians as well, and expecting people to house them, when, as we've seen, they're having to actually move out of the houses that have been put in because they're not getting along with the families, and we simply don't have the facilities to house the rest of the world. We don't.
The thing about the Rwanda scheme is that most people who are going are people who've come from France, and only 11 people are going. So the whole thing is a bit of a farce, and it's a publicity stunt basically. So they're not actually dealing with the problem of illegal immigration properly, which is what we should be doing. We should be pushing the boats from France back to France and stopping the people from coming from France into the country in the first place. Then we wouldn't have this problem.
You have to think of the quality
up to 100,000 people coming this year, and already 40,000
Britain takes
in the
less
last
than
3
every
years.
European country. The people who take the most refugees, it is the truth. Who takes less than Britain in Europe?
Bulgaria, Hungary, San Marino.
So we
Bosnia,
take, what is it, 0.26% of the world's total refugee total. This is a country that, let's keep in mind that 65 countries had to gain independence from this country. So this country has gained a lot from entering into other... It's just the truth. It's just the truth.
This is politically and ideologically motivated.
People are fighting for their lives. It's a humanitarian issue, and that's why 100 people have been stopped.
Not when they're coming from France.
You cannot just look at someone in a dinghy and say, you're illegal. Why? Because you're a male, because you're young. Anybody who's making a voyage across the world to save their family are going to send their youngest, their fittest, their strongest. You don't send pregnant women to war.